What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I just finished watching episode 5 of WandaVision. There was so much going on in this episode, it's ridiculous. Now, first and foremost, if you want to watch my reaction, it is under my YouTube memberships. If you are not a member under my YouTube memberships, I'll let you know how that goes. So I've got 2 levels over there. You can go and check that out. Level 1 is for $2.99, and you're going to get priority replies from me, which means that there could be tons and tons of comments under a video, but if you are a member, I will be replying to you first. So priority replies, special polls that I will post for my members only, and live streams, which I am hoping to start this month if I can get my memberships up. Level 2 is for $4.99, and you're going to get everything that level 1 has, plus you're going to get all of my reactions to shows like this, Naruto, Dragon Ball, let's see, I have The Boys, House of the Dragon, She-Hulk, couple of movies, and all of my uncut Try Not to Laughs. They will all be under my YouTube memberships. But my reviews are for all. Now, this is getting really, really interesting. So in this episode, we start to see another side of Wanda. And we start to see that there are things that are just not making sense. And then as the episode goes on, it starts making more and more sense. So, Captain, who played Geraldine in, I guess, Wanda's sitcom, or Her Life as they're calling it, she's trying to figure out, she wants to go back in there. And they don't want her to go back, but she wants to go back. She feels like there's just something to figure out, right? So they're trying to figure out how to get close to Wanda. Meanwhile, in this episode, we see Wanda and Vision and their newborn babies. They're crying. They don't know what to do. They're trying to figure it out. In the midst of this, their neighbor, oh my God, why am I drawing a blank? What's her, that nosy neighbor of theirs. So she comes in, and it's kind of weird because she comes in looking to help, and at some point she looks at Wanda and she says, "Do you want me to take it from the top?" And that didn't make any sense to me. Like, I was just like, what? Vision saw it, but Wanda didn't seem to see it. Like, she didn't hear, like, she didn't get what he was talking about. Excuse me. That came out of nowhere. So Vision was like, what was that all about? And she was like, what? And in the midst of that, her neighbor, she's trying to, help the babies, put them to sleep, get them to stop crying. So he pulled Wanda to the side. He was like, did you not see that? The way she looked at you, what she said, like, what was all that about? And she was like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know. Like, she's probably just a little off. Like, really playing it off. And so they don't hear the babies crying anymore. They look in their cribs and they're gone. Next thing they know, their neighbor's sitting on the counter drinking something out of a glass. They turn around and their kids are like 5 years old. And I'm just like, what? How the heck did they turn 5 at this point? Meanwhile, her neighbor doesn't seem to be the least bit surprised at all of this. I'm just like, what in the world is going on? Do they know who she is? Do they know what's going on? Are they one of them? Like, what is going on? So anyway, neighbor goes off. Now they're showing this is like another couple of years because the sitcom starts off differently. It's almost like one of those, I don't know if you ever seen Family Matters. You know how they just age and they kind of change the intros and so it's one of those things. So in this episode we start to kind of see other weird things happening. So the lady that played Geraldine, she's now trying to figure out what's going on and how to get back in there, but prepare herself for it. So she goes to find the outfit that she had on, and she starts shooting at it, and literally the bullets go flat. So that outfit that she had on is made of something. I forgot what she called it. So they're like, okay, we can get past that with this type of protection. We'll be fine. So she goes and she sets up to get a drone in there. Meanwhile, Vision is at work, and apparently he brought about these computers. They're just now figuring out what computers are. So Norm, his coworker, he's talking to him and he's asking him, "Oh, we'll turn it on. What is the electronic mail? You know?" And meanwhile, Vision is kind of like, I don't know, he's just kind of sensing like something's off. So he's sitting there, and once the computer turns on, it's almost like a message coming through that there's some type of radioactivity going on. And then the whole office starts reading the exact same thing at the same time in the same tone. And now he looks worried. He touches a computer. He kind of like turns it off. Then he's talking to Norm. He kind of notices that something's off, so he touches Norm's temples, and Norm snaps out of what this trance is. Now he's scared. He's looking for his phone. He's like, I gotta call I don't know if he said my wife or my sister. He's like frantic. He's scared. He doesn't know what's going on. So then Vision changes him back, and now he's just like, oh boy, something's not right. Something doesn't make any sense. So now in the meantime, the boys found a dog. So now they're trying to figure this dog out. So they had the dog in the kitchen, and somehow the neighbor comes back with a dog house. I'm like, how the hell did she know that fast that they had a dog? And I don't understand. So she came in. The dog didn't have a collar. So right in front of the neighbor, Wanda just kind of makes a collar appear. And Vision's like, yo, like, what are you doing? Like, you just did that in front of her without even considering that she might have seen you. She was like, oh, she's not paying any attention. So he's like, we're supposed to not do that, you know? And she's like, well, I'm tired of hiding. So I'm just like, is she just not caring anymore at this point? Like, what's happening? And I'm like, did she or did she not see it? Whatever, it doesn't matter. So at this point, Vision is just not feeling it. Like, he knows something's not right. So while they're trying to get this drone into, getting close to Wanda, they're looking at the screen, they're monitoring it. The captain who played Geraldine, I forget her name. She had no idea that the drone that they sent in there was a missile. So as soon as she saw it, the boys, they're in there and they're playing tricks. They're doing tricks with the dog and stuff like that. And the dog runs to the door, and the dog seems to get the attention of something on the other side of that door. So the boys are like, he's scared of something. Like, what's going on? So it seems like Wanda kind of knew like what was up, and she was like, stay here. So she goes outside, but they all go after her. And she's looking at this drone, and the captain is trying to talk to her through this drone, trying to tell her like, look, this is Captain so-and-so, like, I just want to talk to you. Meanwhile, her co-partner or whatever, he's looking at it along with her. Now we see that Wanda's eyes are turning red, so now we know she's upset. So then he goes shoot the shot or something like that. She's like, wait a minute, what? It's not, the drone isn't armed. He apparently armed it with a missile. She knew it. So there was a breach. They all go outside, and the breach is Wanda. And Wanda comes in upset, coat flapping, dragging the drone. She's like, does this belong to you? Throws it to them. Now they all got their guns pointed at her, and she's just like, stay out of my way and I'll stay out of yours. And the captain's trying to talk to her, telling her, look, you trusted me to deliver your babies. You knew something about me that you trusted. Let me help you. She was like, what can you possibly do for me? She was like, well, what do you want? And she was just like, I have everything I want. So then on her exit, she does something like this, and all of the men are now pointing their guns at the guy, the other captain, or whoever he is. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you're about to kill this man right here and there. But they didn't. She leaves. They get out of their trance. They see like this big red blob, and they're all kind of looking like, oh shoot. So now things are getting crazy, and I'm just sitting here like, yo, what is going on with her? So she goes back, and they're figuring out. They see a surveillance video of her going to see Vision's body, and I guess she kind of takes it over. Like, she went against his wishes. And I forgot what they said it was, but she went against his wishes, and she was trying to, like, I guess what happened was she put him back together and brought him back to life in her world. And I was just like, no, she brought him back to life for her. What? So he's still alive in this sitcom, like he's back from the dead or something like that. Like it was, I was just like so mind blown. I was just like, wait a minute, what? Anyway, long story short, he starts to figure things out. And they're now like arguing, they're going back at it, and he was like, you can't control me the way you can control them. She was like, oh, I can't. And I'm like, now we're starting to see a little bit of a sinister side of Wanda. So the end of the episode, we see that somebody's at the door, and Vision has no idea who he is before Westview, and he looks at the door. He's like, who is this? So he didn't recognize who that was, and apparently it was her brother. She kind of looked surprised too. So I don't know if this was her doing or something else. But this is getting absolutely wild. So I can't wait to see the next episode. But anyway, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought of episode 5 of WandaVision. Let me know if you enjoyed my review. If you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel, hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later. Toodles!